Why do we worship and pray when birds and animals don't? Are we really not part of the same life as them? Are humans making an error with all the frantic prayers they engage in? And should we worship and pray at all when life is an isness? So I got so many answers on that forum, and I picked two of them quite interesting. Let me read one by this guy is called Charles R. Butler-Neto, and he says, according to the Ethiopian church, the entire creation, other than humans, is in prayer all the time. Only humans are unaware of this and put off animal noises and all their continuous chatter as random. The Ethiopian church gets up before dawn on Sundays to rejoin the prayer of creation, which one can hear as the sun comes up if one is listening. So this guy claims that, in fact, the entire creation is in a continuous prayer mood. Even the birds and the animals and maybe the plants and all that. So I found this answer very interesting. I said, let me hear what Duane will say about it.
Yes, what will Duane say about it? What would anybody say? I'm watching this on Netflix. I'm watching these episodes on Africa, and they're very, very good. Even some of it's about Congo too, but the natural environment and what's going on with the animals, the birds, the insects, etc., and how the natural environment is. Very, very good. One of the best ones I've ever seen. Better than National Geographic. It's from BBC. David Attenborough is narrating it. It's very, very good. And it's really cool in its own way to see this. So, the worshiping and prayer idea is just that. It's a choice. We have ideas. It's something that sounds good. It's something that, makes sense to people that do it, like anything, like the business world, etc. It seems to, in its own way, according to each person, seems to fit. It's their choice. And really, that's really what it is. It sounds like, as people do these things, it's like a business. And what does life do? What does life itself do? So what they're really seeing is creation, basically, and deciding in their own way. Okay, this is how things are to be done. And if I got it right from what you said, that the animals are just making a bunch of chatter, etc. Are they? Again, it's, each person decides. So, yeah, well, I see the difference, but again, you can't tell people anything. They decide what life is according to what they see, according to their senses. I get it. We've all grown up with this, and so it's really something that each person must figure out for themselves what they're going to really see in life, and it becomes very, very interesting. For me, it's more than evident what this isness is, and so. But for others, it's probably along the lines of fantasy or belief or superstition or whatever they decided to be in their minds. So the idea of worship and prayer, again, where did this come from? Now all of a sudden people are they use that idea too, and that's a reference to exactly what it is. Is it anything but that? So again, where did it come from? It all came from the reptilians, because again, it didn't exist before it did exist. So we're in what is taking place now. So people, how far back do they go? You might say as a reference. A couple years, their life, a couple lifetimes, centuries, whatever. And yes, you see people worshiping and praying to things and doing all these things. Well, originally, just like the Tower of Babylon or whatever, who decided that? And again, that was building temples to gods. And so this has gone on and on. So again, it's choice. This is where people are today. And to see this reality and recognize it, well, I can see it's, you might say it's way off base for them, but whatever, it's a choice, Charles. These become experiences and references, and as you use the new you, as you sing the new you learn to compare. Okay, all you have to do is it's not about thinking so much, but just learn to see and compare the difference of what's going on. Look at that idea and look at what you see that your mind doesn't decide. See, try that. And then you decide to recognize the difference. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, and another guy called Vaclav this Krepek or something like that. He gave a very enlightening answer here, which made me realize that many people out there are being touched in a way by the worldwide wake-up call. People are becoming more aware in their various quarters. This is what he says. In a sort of way, we are different. We are a different life form. The difference is that, unlike other animals, we spend most of our lives not in reality, but in a dream world. Animals live in the present, here and now. They are focused. We, on the other hand, spend most of our time thinking about the future, remembering the past, or dwelling in completely different reality of dreams, books, films, alternative realities, and the human world that's not based on natural laws but on our own, on logic that we have created ourselves. That is why in critical situations the immediate focus takes us by surprise so much. Have you ever been in an imminently dangerous situation like a car crash? Can you remember how strange everything felt? How intensive the reality became? Well, that's what I'm talking about. We have created a lot of things that exist only inside our heads. That's called culture. Gods and other superstitions are part of that. We pray to gods because we believe that it is the right thing to do. That is to say, some of us do. Animals don't have any such concepts. So why would they do any such thing like prayer? As to whether it's an error, well, religion was pretty important when human society was forming. It was a sort of catalyst that enabled the rise of human cultures. One of the things that helped to make humans out of animals. Biology and genetics only gave us the tool, brain. But the brain needed to be filled with ideas. Otherwise, we just use it to get more food, better shelter, and so on. Religion and culture lead us to use it to create lasting things, often actually suffering. To establish certain principles and concepts upon which the human society relies. Concepts like good and bad, justice, fairness, authority, none of them actually exist in the objective reality. But but was that an error? Stupid thing to do? Well, we wouldn't be here without it. Now, how is religion? Forgive me, but I don't think we do. It played its part, but we have outgrown it. Like kids maturing, we no longer need bedtime stories. Our society is mostly ready to be told to be told that there's no Santa Claus, bogeymen, fairies, demons, and such. That these only represented, impersonated, in fact, certain ideals, certain thoughts. Now we are old enough to grasp them without the mythology. So it's time to let the gods go. So this is the one that I wanted to read.
That's fun. So again, yeah, that's a good little definition of what's going on.